have to stand on a ladder to reach my shelf. Hello, my name is Elise, and today I'm doing something terrifying. I'm going through every single book on my shelf and seeing how many of them I have not read. So I did unhaul quite a few books in the past year just to get rid of books that I wasn't ever going to read or books I read and didn't like, just to make more room on my shelf. But that doesn't really mean my collection has shrunk at all, because I've also acquired many more books just due to joining BookTube and really renewing my interest in reading. So I now have many books. I started collecting books when I was like 10, 11, 12, and it started off as a little tiny pile on my floor of my shared bedroom with my brothers, and now it has expanded quite a lot. So I want to hold myself more accountable for reading the books that I purchase or receive, because what's the point of having books if you're not going to read them? At this point, they're just decorations. So the plan today is to go through every single book on this shelf, grab my laptop, write down the title of every single book I have not read, including like the second halves of series that I haven't read, like some series like, what is it called? Mortal Instruments. I read the first 2 books, so I'll just write the remaining ones on this list. Anything that I haven't read, it's gonna be on the list. And then after that, for the whole accountable part, I'm gonna make a TBR game out of it. Now, I don't usually stick to TBR, so I was trying to think in my head ways to make this something I would actually follow. And I think the goal right now is to make a mood reader type of TBR game. I don't exactly know all the logistics of it yet. I really have to see how many books I have, but the idea I'm having right now is, again, write down every single book I haven't read, and then I think it depends on how much time this is going to take me. I don't know if I'll lose motivation, but I think if I am up for it, I'm going to go and look up the books on Goodreads and try to write down the genre for each book and sort it that way. And then I think I'm going to write down the titles of the books on little colored pieces of paper, and each color is going to represent a genre. I'm going to put it in a jar, and then I'll have like a little TBR jar thing, and I'll have like the little slips of paper with different colors. And at the beginning, or well, more like the end of every month, to make a TBR for the next month, I'll just pick a certain amount of books for each color, so that way I can read, I don't know, something along the lines of that. So that way I have options, and I'll make sure I have like a diverse amount or diverse range of genres, so that way I have many things to choose from, something like that. But that way I have some flexibility, but also it's kind of directing me towards reading books that I already own. Yeah, that's just like the general gist I had in my head, but we'll see how it goes as I tackle this project, because again, I really want to be better about reading the books on my shelf. I do a lot of reading, but oftentimes that comes in the form of NetGalley ARCs, library books, audiobooks, just not stuff that I actually own. So we are going to tackle this project, and then if all goes well, if the TBR game is working, that'll end up being a monthly thing. The goal is to maybe get my TBR, my physical TBR, down to 0, but I think that's pretty unrealistic. But we should at least try to get it out of the hundreds range, okay? Because that's ridiculous. All right, I have my laptop so I can write down all the books. I've started a document called Physical TBR. I also have a ladder. Where is it? Here's my ladder, because I'm definitely gonna have to climb a bit to reach my books. But yeah, we're gonna start this right now. I don't think I'll finish because I have to go to work in an hour, but I will do my best. I just filmed me going through my first section of the bookshelf, and I realized I put it in slow-mo instead of the sped up version, time-lapse, so I will not be including that clip unless I figure out how to undo that, but that might be above my skill level. Okay, ignore my robot ring light eyes, but we are not off to a good start, folks. I just finished writing down the titles that I haven't read from that first rectangle there, like just the, right here, the red, orange, yellow books, just this little section of my whole bookshelf. And we are at 17 books that I haven't read just from that one little section. There are many sections here, and there's already just 17 that I haven't read from that section. It also took me a really long time to do. Oh no, I just dropped something from my shelf. But yeah, I guess this is necessary. I'm trying to finish all these books, and this will definitely make me aware of how many that I've just bought and abandoned. Hello again, update time. So I have finished the first two shelves, like the two actual shelves. So I finished all of these. I just have this shelf left. I need to really quickly check to see if I'm about to miss my bus, but I'm hoping I can squeeze in writing in all these titles before I have to go to work. But so far from these first two shelves, again, the whole things, I have 139 books I haven't read. I'm gonna be honest, that is actually a lot less than I thought I had. I know 139 books is a lot. That could last me years, but I thought it was way more. So I guess that's kind of good, but yeah, we're gonna try to squeeze this last shelf in to see the final count. The only book I didn't include so far from these two shelves is I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, because I'm going to read that today at work for a book club, and I'm planning on finishing it today or at least tomorrow. So we'll just pretend I've read that because I'm hoping to finish it and also start it then finish it soon. Alright, I have written down the titles for every single book on this shelf except for I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, because I'm planning on reading that today, and then 2 books on knitting because those don't count. I don't read those cover to cover. Anyways, the final total right now is 216 books. Woo! So, yeah. I'm gonna run to the bus now because I really have to get to work, but I'm going to work on this during work. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it by genre, like sort them by genre, or like page length, mood, feelings, subject matter. I don't know. I'm going to work on that right now, I guess like in an hour when I get to work. But then I will start the TBR game. We'll start making the TBR game and see if that will help me at all get rid of the 216 books that I have not read. And the other part of this is I'm going to try not to buy books. I've also included books on my list that I plan not to read. Like I have some Harry Potter books. I never finished that series. I don't plan to, but I just wrote them down so that way I know in my head that if I'm not going to read them, which I don't plan to ever, then I have to at least get rid of them. So we're really trying here to lower that number. All right, off to work. Goodbye. Hello. The last time I filmed was probably like a week ago, and then I just forgot to continue to film, but here we are again. So for my first half of the video, I think I had 216 books on my physical TBR, and I may or may not have acquired 3 more books in the meantime. In case you're interested, I bought 100 Years of Solitude, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and then my friend gave me a nonfiction book on subcultures, which was basically just a sociological book. But yeah, so now I have 219 books on my physical TBR, and I have been trying for so long to figure out a way to make a mood reader TBR game, and hear me out, folks. This is what I've come up with, right? Okay, so I put all 219 books on a Goodreads shelf, right? And then I exported that to Storygraph, because Storygraph has this cool feature where you can see the mood of the story and the pacing. So here's my idea. That was so aggressive. I'm so sorry. I found colored note cards. Very cute, very fun. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Storygraph and go through all 219 of my books, because I just like labor-intensive things apparently. And I was having a hard time figuring out how to organize the books, but here's what I've come up with. I am kind of going off of vibes, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I'm gonna look at Storygraph for a general sense of the mood and the pacing, but ultimately it's going to be off of vibes, whatever I'm thinking it'll fit into, because I only have 5 colors, so I'm only making 5 different categories for my moods, for my mood TBR. And these are the moods I've kind of come up with. They may not fit exactly, but that's okay. We'll make the books fit. So the first one is imaginative. So for that, that'd be books that are like fantasy, sci-fi, maybe magical realism, stuff that like you got to use some imagination. You know, if I'm in the mood for feeling some escapism, something where I want to feel the world building, I don't know. Remember, this is mood stuff. So that's going to be my first genre, or my first category. Then I have a lighthearted. That's going to be like middle grade, but maybe middle grade that's on the lighter side, because I feel like a lot of middle grade is really dark, or like really light romances or some light YA, stuff like that. Then I have heavy. So that could be like really heavy contemporary fiction, there we go, or like really heavy historical books, or yeah, just dramatic, heavy, emotional kinds of stories. Then I have, I call this category serious. This is code words for stuff that will make me have to use brain cells. So this would be like classics or nonfiction books, maybe memoirs I'll put there too. And then my last category, because I didn't know what to do and I had a lot of books I feel like would maybe fit in this very broad category, I called it relatable / realistic. And I don't know exactly what that means. I feel like that's going to be my catch-all category, where if I don't know what to do with something, I'll just throw it there. But it's going to be like realistic fiction, or I don't know, probably mostly realistic fiction, stuff like that could happen in real life, stuff I like might relate to, you know, stuff that could happen. Okay, that is my broad category, but that is what I've come up with. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna put them on parts of this index card. Each category is gonna have a color. I'm gonna cut them up, and then I wanted to have a prompt jar because I thought that'd be cute, but all of my jars are currently taken up by the pens that I'm going to be using to write on my note cards. So may I introduce to you the prompt Pokemon trading card tin. This is the only container I could find. I'm going to still call it my prompt jar, but yeah, I'm going to put all of my little TBR slips in here, and I'll choose from this every month. But yeah, I guess it is time to get started. I think the only other thing I'm thinking of maybe doing, if I don't totally lose steam, is I'm going to write the title of the books, right? Based off of, I write them on different colors based off of their category. But I think I'm going to mark, like just on the side, like a little dash, a colored dash, to indicate if it's fast-paced, medium-paced, or slow paced, because that's another feature on Storygraph. So that way I can really get a sense of the mood, you feel? But that is what I'm gonna be doing right now. And I guess cue the time lapse. No, not cue the time lapse. Yeah, the one other thing I was gonna mention is some of these books, or actually a lot of my books that I have, are series. So if I have 5 books on my physical TBR, sometimes that's 5 books in a series. I think what I'm gonna do is only write the first book of a series, or whatever book I left off on, or maybe I'll just write the series name, and then yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll write the series name, and that'll just count for 1 book, so I can keep putting that slip back into my jar until I finish the series. Okay, that is it. I just rambled for 5.5 minutes. Okay, cue the time lapse of me being artsy over here. By artsy I mean like writing titles, but that's it. Okay, hello again. I think it's been like 2 hours. I mean, it's already dark out and I started when it was light, and I think I'm only halfway done, so it's time to quit for now. I will continue this tomorrow, I think. I really made this complex for myself. I could have made this so much easier. I don't know why I decided to do it like this. Really having regrets, but I already started, so why not finish? But yeah, I'm writing them writing the titles on these sheets and then I'm color coding it. Then I have to cut these out. I mean, I really went above and beyond for no reason. So that is it for me for tonight. Hello, good morning. Today is technically a new day, but yesterday, immediately after saying I quit because this was too labor intensive, I got right back to it and finished writing down all of the books. So last thing to do is cut these up and put them in my little Pokemon tin, and then I guess I have a TBR game. Do I know the rules or how I'm gonna do things, how much I'm gonna grab from each color? No, I don't, but I put an unnecessary amount of effort into this, so yeah, I don't know why. I just hit it in that clip because, ooh, I was about to sneeze. Well, I finished folding all of them. This tin is not big enough, but the goal is to read more books so that way they will fit in the tin. I think I'm still gonna call this my TBR jar instead of my TBR tin because TBR jar rhymes and I'm more of a fan of the rhyming, but we can pretend. Anyways, I am done making my TBR game. Was it worth the effort? Probably not, but I am a fan of effort, even if it's not worth it. So I have a game now. I don't know if you were able to tell in the time lapse, but I did spill like an entire cup of pens in the process of folding these. But yeah, an unnecessary amount of hours of labor went into this, but I guess maybe at the end of this video, because I know this was more like how many books are in my physical TBR and let's make this game, but I guess we can use this video as my trial run for my TBR game. I think in the future, if this goes well, I'll be, doing a regular TBR video, but we'll just throw this in quickly at the end. So this is my little trial run. Also, it was so unnecessary for me to fold these because I can still see what it says. But yeah, so this is my trial run. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do. I think for this round, it's gonna be my August TBR. We're already in August, or almost in August. And I think what I'm gonna try first is choosing one of each color. So I'll have 5 books and the goal is to read, I'm making this up on the spot, I have to read at least 3 of those 5 books. Perfect, because that'll make it like the mood reader, because I have different moods on each color, but then it's like extra mood reader since I can choose which of the 5 books I'm gonna read. Hopefully I read all 5, but the goal is at least 3. So I guess we'll just go for it. Okay, so my first one is green. This is like imaginative, so like fantasy, sci-fi, some mystery thriller, I don't know. And my first book is gonna be 13th Reality by James Dashner. I'm not gonna read that. I'm just telling you right now. I'm probably gonna get rid of those and put it in the little free library by my house because, yeah, but yay, at least this will motivate me to get them off my shelf. We're off to a bad start. Okay. Blue is serious, which is basically my category for memoirs, classics. What else did I put? Nonfiction. Yeah. Also ignore my brother's alarm in the back because he's not waking up. And this book is going to be, oh, I forgot I put the colors. This was so unnecessary too. So I guess this is medium paced. It is thick and other essays. Well, very convenient because I am in the middle of reading that because it's required reading for school. So perfect. I will definitely be reading that because I'm already halfway done with it. All right. Pink is relatable / realistic. So that's like contemporary fiction, some historical fiction, basically stuff that can happen in real life. I don't know. And it's a slow-paced book. And it is An American Marriage. Okay. I don't know if I'll read that. I've been wanting to read it. I hear it's good, but it seems very long. All right. Yellow is lighthearted or funny or relaxing, something like that. This is going to be a fast-paced book because I have like the blue. I don't know if you guys can actually see. Yeah, like the blue on the side. And it is The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire by Dan and Phil. Okay, I mean, I could read that. I own it. My brother bought it bought it for me for Christmas a million years ago, and I like flipped through it like random pages, but I didn't read it cover to cover. So I guess that'll be my lighthearted book. And then lastly, I have purple, which is heavy, and it's a slow-paced book, and this is The Road. I don't know if I'm gonna actually read that. Okay, we have quite the mix of books, but I guess that's the point of this being a mood reader TBR. Again, I'm gonna try to read at least 5 of these, and I think, again, I'm just coming up with these rules as I go. I think what I'm gonna do is if I don't read the book, I should try to get rid of it. But yeah, I guess that is it for me. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This has been quite the unnecessary journey, but I think I had fun. I'm not sure if I had fun, but maybe it'll be fun now that I have the game made. Can't wait to read. The amazing book is not on fire. It's gonna be a great time. Yeah, see you all next video. Bye bye.